menu, then navigate the
Okay,
arrow keys. Preparing live
we're
stream.
preparing.
Broadcast.
We are going up. Now, I don't know why my JAWS is talking.
Broadcast meeting dash Zoom dash Google Chrome. Left parent
Hey,
20 plus right parent
what
Facebook dash
everybody in
Google
Intervision,
Chrome. Left
if
parent.
you're hearing my JAWS, I need to stop that. I need to
Yeah,
figure out.
well, you can hear mine too.
Let's
We're
see.
just a couple of blind folks trying to break into a sighted world's universe. Welcome to the Univision FM universe, and got Johnny
Yes.
J in the house, president and station manager of Intervision
Let's see.
FM.
And as you see, the show is called "Are We Going Bananas?"
Are we going bananas? Sometimes it's been said that you are what you eat. And we, the Americans, are sometimes accredited with eating the most bananas as a people on the planet. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're really good for us. I mean, they're yummy. I mean, they got potassium that we need. They're healthy if they're
Hmm.
eaten in some moderation. Obviously, you don't want to go bananas with them.
And a little observation I found, it's like if you go to a food bank, sometimes you get a good one, or sometimes you get the extreme to the left or the right, which
Mhm.
the extreme is the green.
That's
And
right.
so you have to put them up and wait until they get ripe. The other extreme, they're ready for banana bread. So,
Yeah, boy, I love banana bread.
oh man.
Boy.
So it's one or the other. If you go to a food bank, and then sometimes if you go to a King Sorbet, I mean you'll see these green bananas up there because I don't know, I think they put them in a little refrigerating thing, and then they let them ripen there while they're in the store.
Don't
Or
forget to like, share, subscribe. Toss this content out on wherever you're watching this on. Let it get to
yeah,
more people. And
yeah,
those comments are really important for the algorithm. So do that for us. Bananas. Why are we bringing up bananas? Well, there's a bit of a strike on the East Coast that's set to go into effect. So 12:01 tomorrow. North
wait a
Shore.
minute, tomorrow?
Yeah, 12:01 tomorrow. There's
What
this
is it like?
big.
Unless they negotiate something, or is this
Well,
like
there's yeah, there's they've been trying to negotiate with the Biden administration for the last couple of years on
the
a
Biden
6 year.
administration? I thought they were down with the not the Teamsters. What are they called? Union workers.
5:11
Well, these
p.m.
particular union workers are, uh, you know, trying to work with the Biden administration to keep the eastern seaports open. Most of the nation is supported by all of the goods and services that the uh, supply chain is supported by.
Hmm.
And so if the eastern seaport is allowed to kind of, and on top of the stuff going on in Georgia and 5 other states due to the
Can you believe that
hurricane, man.
the way that water came in? And I heard like was this one hospital that helicopters had to come and lift them, get them off like 2 by 2 and stuff like that. I mean, I've never ridden a helicopter, but I don't know if I like that to be my first ride on a helicopter.
There's never been more of a big need for prayer for our entire country than now. So, if you're of a mind, lift us up, lift ourselves, lift us all up in prayer, each and every one. Do stay together, because at the end of the day, this isn't about left and right and Republican, Democrat. This is about our neighbors and our friends. So in the first week, we could look at some really sad issues coming down the pike. No bananas.
Oh man, what shall we do? It's like,
In the
but
second week, you could be looking at gas shortages, rationing. Third week, uh, you know, and this happens to be hitting right before the election.
you know
So
what? I just thought about this and call it conspiracy. Okay, so the Democrats, they cause a problem and then they come in and then they steal some of your what is it called? Some of your God-given gifts in order to fix the problem they caused. what did they say? Okay, whether we win or lose, let's cause a big havoc. So he'll be so busy fixing what we did that he won't have that much time to be implementing what he wants. But I think they're going to be sadly surprised.
Well, there are still those that are in America who have the American spirit that are all about, hey, let's forget about hey, are you Republican? Are you a Democrat? Whatever. Doesn't matter. When you're in the floodwaters, you're going to get some help by somebody, because that's the way that Americans work. That's the way that whether you're from another country and you immigrate here legally, or whether you're born here in America, that's the way Americans do. They pitch in and they help, and they don't worry about your political ideology. They just worry about, you got enough to eat? Are you safe? Are you warm? So,
Yes.
keep that in mind as things do get a little bit rough, and we do need to look at tightening our belts more, depending on God more than we ever have, because it seems that at times I know I have. It seems we've forgotten God. We might have put him on a shelf, summoned him when we wanted him, and okay, we got it from here, Lord. Thanks.
Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Host attendee Alan Colvin has joined your personal meeting
Wait,
room.
wait, I'm
Hey.
looking for something here.
Zoom
Oh,
meeting.
okay.
As you know, I was playing around with the
file explorer.
with the
File explorer.
what's it called? Soon, well, this AI program,
Yeah.
and I created a song for my grandkids,
Oh wow.
and I put their names in it, and it came out so good. I want to play it a little bit. I'm gonna put. I already got the BMI code on this, so if you.
A World Without Us by Johnny J.
It's called A World Without Us.
Cool.
Johnny J. And let's play.
Let's listen to a sample.
Context. Copy. Rename F2. 3 of
Let's see
5.
what-
Share 4 of. Delete. Open enter. Open with sub enter. iTunes 1 of 8. Media player.
Okay,
2
here
of
we go.
enter. Pop up. Leaving menus.
Will it let
Media
you?
player 0.
Can you hear
Here we
it?
go. Yep.
Yo, I'm only woke up, asked God with a sigh. What if black folks never reach for the sky? Angel appeared, wings not yet in place. Said, let's take a trip, you'll see what we erased. First stop, no shoes for your feet to slip. No iron to press clothes, all wrinkled and stiff. Sarah Boone's board, nah, it ain't there. Jan's shoes gone, we starting to get scared. No comb for your hair, no brushing your grip. Without Madam CJ, your curl's gonna slip. Sweep the floor, but wait, where's the dustpan at? Lloyd P. Ray's invention, now that's a fact. A world without us, just imagine it now. No lights, no heat, can't survive somehow. We paved the way, laid the tracks for the dream. Amoni, Akina, Saraya, Misha, can you see how we reign supreme?
No.
Tried to mop the floor, but no mop in
0
sight.
0 keep
Thomas
colon
Stewart's
off
gone,
volume
that
button
just
full
ain't
screen
right.
mini
Closing
player
the
but more
trial,
options
not
button
today.
home button
George
0
Samuel's
0
gone,
point
that's a
the
major
world with
delay.
shuffle colon
Grab a
previous
pen,
button
but where
skip
did it
back
go?
10
Will your
pause button
purpose-
space
Okay,
play button.
now so it says Amani, Kina, Zariah, and Micha. So I put their names in this, and I think I found this thing about all the things that Black people had invented throughout the history of the United States, and then I first sent it to my oldest granddaughter, and then I said, well, wait a minute, I got these 3 other grandkids, so why not I just put all their names in there?
Right.
So I'll be sending that off to them, and that AI thing is pretty cool. So I've been
You know,
making rocks.
I wanted to ask you about that. So you've got ASCAP, you got CSAC, and you got BMI,
Yeah, BMI.
and you should get all 3 of those. You
Yeah.
To make sure that everything's good. And they do want a little bit of money to register your songs, right?
No, they pay out. Like if you get a lot of streams, they'll pay you out. I mean, they'll pay you out, and especially if you do shows and you report those shows on BMI Live. So you get now this other one. I think you like this other one. A lot of people been talking
New
about like
notification from Outlook left
P.
parent,
Diddy.
classic right
Uh-huh.
parent, Bud Inc. via LinkedIn.
What is that?
Text
What are they
spark colon
talking?
recent innovations lighting up your site.
Oh, it's just
Stop, stop,
notification
stop,
on
stop.
LinkedIn. Just take
Yeah.
control. There you go.
Task switching. Downloads. dash
Okay, this
Outlook
other
store.
one. So I thought I would write one about Justin Bieber and Usher, because
right.
their mothers in the background of this is their mothers sent them over to this guy's house to go to his so-called camp.
Right.
No qualifications to run a camp. No, nothing. Just, well, you boys want to be famous, or and I'm thinking like if the dad was there, I would hope that he would have some kind of say, wait a minute, if they're going to go over there, you better be with them, or something to that effect.
There ought to be some accompaniment going on by an adult
Yeah.
for sure. You know.
And also I'd put in Proverbs 22:6. I talk about train up a child in the way he should go, and when he gets older, he will not depart from it. So that's the theme of this.
Underline
Let's
a
see.
world without us. Lost innocence. Usher and Justin MP3 left.
That
parent,
one.
Okay,
one
so
right
here's this
parent,
one.
Applications. Copy. Rename. Share. Delete.
And-
Open. Enter. Open with sub. Enter.
No.
iTunes. One of it. Media player. Enter. Leaving menu.
Okay.
Media play.
Two young boys with stars in their eyes, Usher and Justin reaching for the sky. Their mothers let them chase their dreams, but dreams can turn dark, not what they seem. They stayed with the famous, but at what cost? In the glitter of fame, their innocence was lost. The fathers had to guide the way. Maybe things
Wow.
wouldn't have ended this way. Is this the price you pay for success? A childhood traded for the world's caress. In the spotlight's glare, so much to miss. But is fame worth all of this? Oh, lost innocence in the name of fame. So many lives, but who's to blame? If they had a father's love, a father's care, maybe they wouldn't have come there. Proverbs 22:6 says to guide a child's heart, but in their world they fell apart. Oh, lost innocence, was it worth the price? Fame and fortune came, but at what sacrifice? My mama, she wouldn't have let me go. Spend time with someone she didn't know. She'd ask you questions she'd wanna see, but in a world that wasn't meant to be. It's not just about money or dreams. When trust fades away, so do the seams. Now voices rise, accusations unfold. Young lives broken and stories untold. Is this the price you pay for success? A childhood traded for the world's caress. In the spotlight's glare, so much to miss. But is fame worth all of this? Oh, lost innocence in the name of fame. So many
0
lives,
0
but
previous
who's to
button.
blame?
Shuffle
If they
full.
had
Lost innocence. Usher and Justin. Shuffle full. Previous button. Then skip back. Text. Pause button. The add space.
Okay.
Play button.
I have to tell you, dude, that right there is going to put musicians right out of business. Songwriters.
You think so?
Well, right now you can tell
Um,
it's AI, and
Yeah.
it's decent singing. The the delivery of the lines is perfect. It's kind of homogenized. Right
It was
now,
kind of
his-
iffy when it started off. It was kind of iffy.
really?
Yeah, when it started off. And I had the free version, and then when I bumped it up and spent the $99 for the year, a lot better.
Well, yeah. I mean, and obviously you're paying for what are called clock cycles. There's a big mess of stuff that I have no idea what it is. But I'm learning as I go along. And you can learn too at Intervision FM. Hit us up at intervisionrecords.org and you can check out. Have we got the other websites up yet? Or
Yeah, Intervision FM is up. And yeah, so and then Johnny J for HD5.
oh, I
CO.
forgot. Yeah, you're running still for
Yeah.
House District 5. We
Yeah,
got
got
a little bit over 30 days.
5
the
days
election.
or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and so it was this partner. Okay, I might have told you about this. When I was, I think about 16 or 17, I was dating this blind girl named Cherie.
Mhm.
Sheridan, I think it was. And well, she went to this church, and I guess it was all white church, whatever. And this guy there, he, and I don't even remember his name, but he wanted to integrate his church, and he said, "Hey, Johnny, would you help me do this, because I think our church should have more mixture, And it was over in Lakewood, so it wasn't that many black people living in that area anyway. But I said, sure. But my mother got very suspicious. She says, "What does this 23-year-old guy want with you?" And she says, "Well, you better watch out." And it turned out, it wasn't anything like that. And we just had a
But your
plan. Yeah.
mom made sure of that. See?
Yeah. Yes. So I don't know if Usher and Justin's mom ever said, like, because you spend time at the camp and then you come back. And then I think at one time Justin was trying to get away from Pity. He said, "Well, it's Pity said, well, how come you haven't called me?" He said, "Oh man, I've been busy. I lost your number." And they said, like, he looked kind of nervous
Yeah.
in this video. And then Michael Spinks, Peter, he was kind of groom him, but Spinks wasn't having it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they showed a video of that. But then I'll tell you this one other story. And if I tell you this one, let me know if I tell you this. It was this. I used to listen to talk radio when I was younger, and you probably did
Yeah.
too, right? Talk radio. And stuff.
Oh yeah, sure.
But there used to be this guy on KOA they called him Padre, and I guess he used to be a priest.
Was that the guy where he would ask people, "Say how you doing?" and people say, "How you doing?" and he'd say, "Fine, thanks." No.
I don't remember. I just remember he spoke with the list, and I didn't think, because everybody really looked at him because he used to be a Catholic priest.
Okay.
And I used to get on the thing called T Line, which was like, it was busy sounds. It was like would be like a Facebook, but back then it was over the phone, and it was like, and then we would talk between the beeps.
Between the beeps? Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember those, boy.
Yeah.
I remember those.
And so, because we're blind, we hear voices, and that's how we identify people.
Right.
This 53-year-old man was on that line of
Oh, yeah?
teenagers, right?
Oh, what? Whoa.
And then he says, "Hey," he says, "JJ, I love you," right? And they're like,
Huh?
well, usually I expect that from the girls. So
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, what is this about?" So I gave him my mother's number, and I said, "So what are you talking?" So he was telling me everything he could do with me to get me to that special place. Nothing like,
Oh,
I said,
my.
"I wonder if this is how women feel when guys are telling them this stuff, And then at the end, he says, "And nobody will know." And then that's when it clicked in and said, "What do you mean nobody will know? I'll know." And I hung up the phone. Man, what a line. "And nobody's gonna know." I said, "What?"
Moral of the story, folks, there are guardrails. They are meant to be followed. Those guardrails, we believe, are in the Holy Bible, and it's not some big book that we bang people over the head with, although it's been used for that. Unfortunately, it's instead of being the double-edged sword meant to, save, it has been used for other purposes, but we aim to just educate folks and just tell people, hey, there's a different way, there's a better way.
This
And
happened, this happened in 1977. And
Yeah.
at that time, the allegations about priests, molesting boys or whatever, that hadn't come out.
right,
And I didn't feel like, I said, who would believe me?
right.
And then when it came out 10 years later, I said, wow. And I had no idea.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a lot of single moms out there. And I'm not sure if you're reading your Bibles, or if you have any kind of you may have a jerk for a boyfriend that gave you the baby or whatever, and he left you with this child or whatever. But it's like, please, women, get some wisdom. And if you have a brother, or I don't know, since so many people don't go to church anymore, it's like, how do you get someone in your corner that you can trust, that's just not there to see what he can get, that, you know, if something should come up, they could be there, or guys to be a mentor. You know, if you see some boys out there just off themselves, become a mentor. I know you're
Well-
busy trying to work, but you know, these boys need it.
Well, I got a feeling, and that's why I brought that up earlier about the bananas, Johnny. I got a feeling we're all going to get tested. Our metal will be
Hmm.
tested as men and women. And you know, but God will see us through, those of
Hmm.
us who love him and put our trust in him and stuff. And you know, it's up to those of us that do put our love and our trust into the Lord and into the Lord only, that can guide those that are going to be going through just as hard of a time as, well, we all will.
Hmm.
We got 30 days until this election, 30 some odd days. People
Yeah.
talk about October surprise all the time. This might be it. And, you know, if the supply chains coupled with these couple of more storms behind this Hurricane Helene hit, and they're anywhere near as bad as Helene was, why, you know, we're all going to need some prayer. We're all going
Oh,
to
yeah.
need to band together and stay together. No, it doesn't matter what we are, who we are, how we believe, who we're voting for. Put that aside. Help our brother and our sister out when you see that. Um, you know,
And don't be fake, because
Yeah.
I saw these new casts where they showed Harris with the earbud in the ear, with the pen and paper.
yeah,
hacking up.
nothing's connected to nothing.
Yeah, there was nothing
Yeah,
connected to
nothing's
nothing.
connected to
Just for a
nothing,
picture.
right?
Just for a
Yeah,
picture.
for a
to say,
picture.
look, I'm working hard
I
here.
was here. I was
doing
working
nothing.
hard. Yep, with nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows where Biden was? I mean, probably came off of one of his vacation. But it's like, yeah,
Well.
there's a true friend, and then there's a fake one. So
Well, look where Trump was today. He was down there handing out water, doing something, anything that he could do.
yeah, shoot.
My gosh, where's our President Biden? You know, well, that's enough for, you know, we pre-planned what we were going to give them. They're getting no more. So that's just the way it is. But yet, we've got what, 8 more billion that we just shipped off to the Ukraine. So don't forget, folks, also to work very hard, you know, because that's what we need to do. We need to work hard. Doesn't matter what we do. Work hard, because boy, those Ukrainians need our hard-earned money more than the hurricane victims, apparently, allegedly, of course.
Now, let me tell you this other story. It's like a deja vu. It was a Chuck and Julie show, and they were talking about, I think it was Wednesday, and they were talking about something, and I put up this post saying, well, these Democrats will treat Trump like you know, like it was a movie called A Star Is Born with Barbara Streisand and Crystal Stofferson.
Mhm.
And I said at the end of the movie he had died, and this DJ who they had this, you know, they had a rough going back and forth, and he even shot at the helicopter that the DJ was in, and DJ said, "I will never play any of your music. Hey, John, I'm your friend," and he started shooting at the helicopter, right? And so when he died, you know, the guy says, and then the DJ, they showed the, oh, John Morgan, he was like a brother to me, right? And it was so weird that I would bring up this movie, and then just, I guess, what, yesterday or last night, Chris Christopherson, age 88, died. So, you know,
Wow.
put up in prayers. I
Wow.
mean, he wasn't, you know, it wasn't like he was a Republican or anything, but he made great movies.
Yeah, props to Chris
and-
Christopherson. He was brought to the Lord quite a while ago. You can check out a lot of his testimonials on the on well, a lot of places. YouTube's got him. Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, they're a couple of pot smoking Jesus freaks.
And I didn't know that he wrote that song, Me and Bobby McGee, that Janis Joplin sung
Yeah.
it, but she wasn't the first one to sing it.
No, she didn't. She wasn't even the first to sing that. So that's interesting. That's interesting.
So she really sold it. And it was a little weird. I had a dream about her too. It was almost like somewhere in the atmosphere, because I had this dream about her saying, I was kind of get her to stop doing drugs and stop smoking. I said, hey, people need you.
Right.
And she wouldn't listen to me, right? And I always take the drug, and then she called in one of her road managers and said, hey, what are you doing to her? I said, I'm trying to keep her from, doing these drugs and stuff like that. I said, well, she's a grown woman. And it was like this whole scenario dream.
Whoa.
And then so it's like all this stuff just came together. Who knows, man? Sometimes we have these, I guess we just get caught up in the universe and we can feel certain things. Because I went to see that movie
Oh.
A Star is Born 8 times in 1978.
I'm afraid I got about halfway through it and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Oh, what was? Tell me about it. Tell me.
Well, it's just a simple fact that if it's not a space movie, it's not a Star Trek movie, or it's not heavy metal and biker stuff. If stuff doesn't blow up in the movie, I don't watch it. So I don't
Well,
know.
well, there was one part in the movie where he rode this motorcycle on the stage, and
I heard about that.
He fell off the stage and ended up breaking his foot or ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
And so they took care of him, but they forgot about her.
Yeah.
And so he had flew her out there in a
So,
helicopter,
Right.
and now she had to figure out a way
She had to, yeah.
home. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be pretty much a trip if you were a blind person. Well, I'm sure with all those people around there, somebody say, hey, you need any help? And there's always good people around. I mean, I was going over to the gym and I went too far to the right, and this guy said, hey, I work for RTD Accessoride, and he helped me get to where I was going. So in that case, you would think like, well, if I was blind, what would have happened? There's always someone around, and God's going to direct the right person to you to get you out of that thing. But wouldn't that be kind of interesting to make a movie like that?
Well,
Put
it
that
would
in a
be.
movie.
It would be interesting. In fact, Even Me, you made a movie a while
Yeah.
back called Even Me, and you've been playing around with the remake of that. And
Yes.
yeah, so I mean, shoot, might as well add that as just a small scene
Yeah.
into
Somebody
that
was saying,
movie.
yeah, this guy was saying I should add more humor in it. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, okay. I was kind of
There
thinking
you
like,
go.
that would be interesting to, yeah, I could definitely do a scene like that. That would be pretty interesting. Yes. So yeah, okay. So I got it in my head. So
Well, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe wherever you're watching us on. Boy, I guess we're on YouTube Live again. It said we were, but I don't see a notification.
wait a minute.
We're on
Well,
Facebook, LinkedIn.
yeah, we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and we may not be on Rumble because we'll be on by next week.
Nice.
Oh man, we'll be back on Rumble again, and I'm not good with uploading anything to Rumble. So, and we're on TikTok, but I need to chop up the show
Yeah,
smaller.
into pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, like smaller.
Yeah.
And I have been putting up a lot of music up there. And of course, like I said, I got it all tagged with BMI. So if it takes off, then but it was, some girl, she did this. She took my song, and 40% of the people on YouTube, they do this too. They embedded it in some kind of video on their page.
Yes.
But I gotta make sure now. I gotta.
So there's a setting within your YouTube settings in your dashboard.
Yeah, I took that. But I
Yeah,
can't find it
so-
in TikTok yet.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, so this
I
happened.
have
Yeah,
I have no idea what about TikTok.
yeah. But I heard 40% of people are embedding our videos
Absolutely. Absolutely.
in that. So
It's a beautiful thing. It's good because, we talk about freedom and we talk about liberty here. So, and the populist movement is taking flight all over the world. So, whatever, but it does kind of pose a small problem for the content creator like us. Speaking
Yeah.
of that, are you still looking to obviously help folks that are financially challenged or physically disabled, learn how to put content up,
Oh yeah.
all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. So folks, if
Yes.
you want, check us out, intervisionfm.com, intervisionrecords.org. And if you like what you see, info at
IntervisionFM.com or no, info at intervisionrecords.org.
yeah,
That's enough. That's a good one there too. So yeah, so it's want to put this in there. It was a college football games this weekend, and it was two different responses. I guess Trump got a really, really positive response, and
yeah.
and
Tim Waltz didn't get a very positive one at
yeah,
all.
yeah. Herschel Walker was there, and Kid Rock has been hanging out a lot with
Yep,
Trump.
Kid Rock was with Trump. Pretty
Yeah,
intense. So Alabama, Georgia game. I guess there was a lot of stuff that went down. Say a little prayer for the folks in Georgia. They're double hit by not only the hurricane stuff, but I guess some plant went up, some chlorine stuff.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
About
Uh,
20 miles outside of Atlanta.
and I heard,
So
look,
say a
was it
prayer.
was a body count like is it about 150? I heard it was like either 199 or
Lost to
100.
the hurricane so far.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so
And that's
that
expected to go up quite a bit too.
so you wonder if those are older people or because they said like because they lost power, some of the people could be alive, but
Yes, yes. Yeah,
yeah, so
if Elon Musk's idea of putting some communications in there via his Starlink satellites and stuff work out, why, you know, uh,
5:40
that'll be a
p.m.
good thing.
yes.
But don't forget to toss a comment down below. Those are important for the algorithm. Let us know wherever you're at. Do you got friends in that area? What are you seeing in the affected area? How are you going to deal with the potential supply chain disruption? Honestly,
Yeah,
prayer is the best way to go. And stay positive.
yeah,
Water,
definitely, definitely.
water is important.
Yes.
That's something you have to have. So definitely get that. And food you can last. I'm living proof. You can last
Yeah.
a couple
And
of weeks without it.
tomorrow we'll be talking about like we'll be part of that leading up to the debate tomorrow. So we'll be on 5 o'clock,
That's
and
right.
then we'll switch it over to them, and then we'll do that. So anyway, so I think I'm gonna let us go out with a little bit of this of the song we were rocking out to about Usher and Justin and oh, by the way, I was at this log cabin forum this weekend, talking about my candidacy, and that was kind of cool. And thank you, Mr. Valdemar, who is running against Diane DeGette. It was his group that put this together. And then next Saturday, at the west end of the Capitol, it's going to be Gays Against Groomers. So if you're in Colorado, 10 o'clock a.m. In the west end of the Capitol, I'm planning on being down there because really cool guy. I've heard him on Kim Munson show and a really nice guy. But he said, "Hey, take your hands off our kids. Stop doing all this silliness with our kids."
That's right. That's right.
Oh, and speak of that, I'm gonna let this song play out, and then we'll hit the exit button. So I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'm at the same
bless
place.
everybody.
God bless. Yeah.
Space pause button to activate. Press space. Download status bar left parent 20 plus Zoom meeting. Zoom.
I wish more would see, more would know that fame isn't worth the pain it shows. Single mothers, hold your children tight, don't let them lose their way in the night. Oh, lost innocence in the name of fame. So many lives, but who's to blame? If they had a father's love, a father's care, maybe they wouldn't have gone there.
Alt Q F meeting for all button.